My name is Chris Cappy. I'm the plant manager here at Railex Conveyor Corp. We are one of the leading manufacturers of garment handling systems, and we've been in business for about 70 years now.
My name is Richard, and I'm the president of Railex Conveyor Corporation. My partner and I bought the company about 7.5 years ago from the original founders. We saw a lot of potential, and over the last 7 years, we've spent time and money and effort investing in the company, investing in our equipment.
Let me show you around. These are some of our large power presses. We've been using them for years. They deliver quality parts on time.
We started to look around at our equipment once we had gotten comfortable with the business, and we saw opportunities to grow. So for quite a while, we've wanted to add some technology in our welding department. Several years ago, we started to think about a welding machine, particularly to use it for our larger run. And we got a nice order from a customer. It was a good excuse to take all that money and bury it into a Productive Robotics unit. We actually went to one of the industrial trade shows. Walked around, we looked at, 7 or 8 different guys in the business, and settled on Productive Robotics for a host of reasons. They were easy to deal with, the product seemed very complete, and they seemed farther along the experience chain than some of the other options we looked at.
So this is our latest addition. It's the Blaze Welder. We got it because some of the larger production runs we were doing were burning out the guys. We were running 1,000 pieces at a time. So this reduces that, what 3 guys would do in a day to 1 guy running this robot and other 2 guys working on other projects.
Certainly one of my concerns, how the team would react here. We have a variety of employees, anywhere from 2 or 3 years to more than 30 years. And our key welding people are between 20 and 30 years. So we were very concerned about how they respond to a robot. So before we went and started to look at the robot, we talked to them about it. And we've always presented it as an opportunity to get them away from some of the repetitive work that's more monotonous, an opportunity to free them up to do the more interesting work. And I think that's really what's happened. So they have embraced it, much to our satisfaction, to our thrill. And so we've now got 4, 5, 6 guys that are comfortable running the robot. They don't view it as infringement on what they're doing every day. They view it as freeing them up from the day-to-day grind of high production welding of repetitive parts.
So we have about 8 different product lines consisting of hundreds of different parts. The customer would send us their requirements, and we would figure out ways to solve whatever problem they have in setting up their systems. Everything is modular, interchangeable, very flexible. It's like a industrial Lego set.
We ran that big job. It was a learning curve for us to get the robot running properly. It was a quick learning curve, and we ran thousands of pieces through the robotic welding cell. Since that time, we've started to learn to fixture other products in the robotic welding cell, and as we fixture those products, we get more comfortable running smaller and smaller runs, and now we're happy to use the robot for just a couple dozen pieces at a time.
So when we broke the news to the guys that we were bringing in automation, we were bringing in a robot to work with them, some of the guys were skeptical. Some of the guys thought maybe, am I going to lose my job, or are you going to put me somewhere else? But we explained to them, this is going to be another tool for you. This is going to relieve some of the heavy lifting, some of the hard work that you're doing, and it's going to allow us to expand and work on other projects at the same time.
If they're welding all the time, every day, 8 hours a day, I think there's a physical aspect where their bodies start to break down. And if you've been doing it for 30 years, at the end of 30 years, the last thing that your body can really tolerate is 8 hours a day of welding. So with the robotic welder, those guys are now able to put it all in. They can get freed up to do the more intellectually interesting jobs, which we like. They don't have to be by the machine on the repetitive jobs as much. It gives us more freedom with that knowledge and experience to use it.
So this is a part that we just recently ran on the Blaze Welder. Ran a production run of 3,500 pieces and came out great. We have a large storage space with a lot of our welding fixtures. To take those, drop them on the table, clamp them down, run a quick program, and we're able to get running on smaller production runs of 10, 20, 50 parts.
It's a dirty, aggressive environment in terms of that. Nobody here is dressed up. Everyone here has work clothes. At any given moment when the robot's welding, there might be 5 other guys welding in the shop. We've got stamping presses. Just now we quieted the grinding wheels. There's usually 1 or 2 grinding wheels running. And so far we have no problems with it. It's been running great. We haven't had any problems. There hasn't been any creep. There hasn't been any issue like that with regard to the robot and its performance.
So one of the points we were a little apprehensive about was whether we were going to get consistent parts out of this. It's really shown itself to produce those consistent parts once we dial in the right settings, which kind of the machine sets for you in a way. You can tweak them a little bit and you can really get a nice clean weld. Our rejection rate, our defect rate, the amount of waste, that's all come down a lot across a lot of the parts that we run with this robot right here. When
we look at larger jobs in particular, we're kind of starting to look at who's going to run the job, who's not going to run the job. This guy is better at 8 hours, this guy's better at 3 hours, and it kind of removes that variable. So if we're getting 200 pieces every 8 hours off the robot, we know we're going to get 200 pieces. Makes it much easier to schedule out 8 days, 10 days, 12 days in terms of delivery.
So this allows us to do multiple parts depending on the fixtures we have on the table. We can have 2 different fixtures bounce between 2 different parts. So far we've seen nothing but good stuff come out of it.
So it's expanded our pool of welders, and that's what I mean. It's really taken a guy who maybe is newer in the welding or maybe doesn't have that fine touch, and he can monitor the welding machine, and a guy who's got the golden touch is now freed up to do other jobs. So in that sense, we've kind of expanded our pool of welders in-house.
So overall, my take on it personally, and a lot of the guys take, a lot of the welders here that run this machine, is it's allowed them to not work as hard, get more parts done, not go home burnt up, and at the end of the day, we're still making the same good quality parts, but at a faster rate.
So it's been fabulous for us. New opportunities, new products. We've gone into some new products because of the ability to do this kind of robotic welding, and we're looking forward to continued growth.